Hi, and welcome to Reviews with Carlito. So you might have thought that was a cool stabilized video, and you could potentially do it with one of these, or even with one of these, and maybe with one of these. I guess not. But this was actually made with this. This is a racing quad, and as the name says, it's normally meant for racing, but that doesn't mean that's its only purpose. Obviously, the stabilizer recording wasn't made with just this. It was actually made by using this. So this is a Wearable gimbal. It has a little attachment for a GoPro type mount, but more importantly, it can go on your quad, like so. It's a 3-axis stabilized gimbal, which means that, actually, let me try and turn it on. Can put this camera, obviously the camera is not included with it. You can use a GoPro 3 or 4, I think the 2 won't fit here, and in this case I'm just using a really cheap Turnigy action camera, which is the same size as the GoPro, so it fits perfectly here. And as a 3-axis, it means that it's able to rotate in every single way, keeping the stabilization. So to turn it on, it's completely self-sustainable. It has some batteries already inside. You don't need to connect anything else to operate it. You just need to put the camera, press and hold the power button in the front, and that's it, the camera turns on. So I literally zip tied, yes, the camera to the quad and then flew it like this. Now this gimbal is slightly heavy. It goes around 180 grams without the batteries or the camera. So it's basically like carrying one more extra large battery on top of your quad. But with racing quads, these are normally performance machines, so they can handle the weight, which it won't fly as fast as you would when you're racing them, but it's more than adequate to carry something like this. And when you're flying, you're pitching forward. That means that the camera is going to be free of the props, unless you're banking hard left or hard right, then the props will probably show up on the image, which is why most of the recording that you saw was done flying really slowly and just yawing for the turn, so you get that nice unimpacted view from the props. So this camera actually has 3 modes. One is the panning mode, where the camera is permitted to pan left and right, and only vertical tilts and rolls are restricted. Then if you double tap the front button, it changes into the second mode, which is panning and tilting mode. The camera is permitted to pan left or right and tilt up and down, but rolls are restricted. And then the final mode, which is the lock mode, which enables you to keep the camera locked in the same position. So no matter where you turn the rest of the gimbal, the camera is going to stay pointing at the same position. Then, there's one last mode actually, which is the inversion mode, and can be activated by pressing this little button 3 times. That means that the camera is going to turn upside down, basically, so you can use this gimbal underneath the quad, which I really wouldn't recommend putting this inverted on a racing quad. because bad things are going to happen. Let's put it back. There we go. Obviously you can use this camera, it's a wearable camera, so it wasn't designed to be put on a drone, especially on a racing drone, but that doesn't mean that we can't, right? And the coolest thing about the racing drone is they can do so much more things that, for example, a Phantom or even a Mavic. It can do things like you've seen on the video, can follow another quad close by, closer than a Mavic, keeping even tighter lines or heading into places that a Mavic, you'd never think of putting a Mavic in that place. And there's also an optional item that you can buy, which is a remote control that you can connect to the camera, to USB actually. There's a side USB here. The camera, show you that. You can connect the remote control here and then just use that to make the camera pan up and down as you're using it. If you really wanted to, I guess that you could also connect a video receiver directly to the port of the camera, so you get video directly from the gimbaled stationary camera, and then you could control it. You could basically a secondary user controlling just the footage that this camera is seeing, rather than the quad itself. So you'd have one pilot for the drone and another pilot that would just be controlling the footage that is being recorded by the GoPro or whatever action camera you have connected to this gimbal. I find this an amazing product. I mean, it's a bit too heavy, but seriously, it's a wearable gimbal, which is, you don't need to connect it to anything, it just works by itself. So obviously it's gonna have more weight from the motors, and it's quite smooth, as you've seen from the footage. You can also set your camera to record in 60 frames per second, making it so that the footage that you're using gets even smoother, or you can use it in slow motion or just speed it up as you want to make it a more interesting footage. Obviously you can use this gimbal, obviously it's a wearable gimbal, with any GoPro attachment, so it doesn't need to go specifically on a quad. You can put it anywhere that you can think of. You can even put it on a selfie stick, as long as you have the attachment for the GoPro, or underneath you can also see there's a little regular attachment for the screws that the the screws that normal selfie sticks has, so you can connect it directly here or at the bottom of the gimbal. I have to say thank you Banggood for sending me this product to test. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I feel that I can use this not only for stabilized footage without a quad, but it also doubles in a way that I can just put this on a racing quad any day that I go on vacations or go out, and know that I can get stabilized footage as I would get from taking a Mavic out or something else. Obviously the price for this is 10 times cheaper than my Mavic Pro, and you get kind of the same, well, not exactly the same return, but a lot of the same return that you would get from stabilized footage from a Mavic Pro, because at the end of the day it doesn't matter what you're flying, you just want the footage is the most important piece of thing that you want to get out of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and why not subscribe? Do it. Click the subscribe thingy, please. Thank you. Bye.